Hey there, this is Cheryl with Sew Glue and Cheryl too. If you see the red live button at the top, it means I am live. You've caught me live. And if you don't, hashtag replay. Let me know that you are watching after the fact. So give me just a moment. Let me refresh my screen so I can get my comments up. We're gonna live button at the top. It means I am live. All right. Let's see. Alrighty. All right. So now I've got that active so I can see. And for some reason the stars message keeps posting twice. That's a little weird, but okay. So we'll see. We'll give it a minute and see if anybody joins. If not, we're gonna finish the rabbits, the wood rabbits that I had started on an event on Wednesday. Hadn't been able to, with the crazy schedule, go live since then, but wanted to have an opportunity to come live, finish the bunny rabbits, and kind of show the end result. So for those of you who are watching the replay, I did an event on Wednesday that was Craft Events by Julie, and we were celebrating birthdays, and it was Crafter's Choice. So I chose to do wooden bunnies. And so I redid the eyes on this bunny because I was critical of what the eyes look like. And so I just painted those while I was preparing to come live. Well, hi, Marianne. How are you today? I just am going to dry these eyeballs real quick because I do want to put the little white accent in the center of the eye, and then we can call this rabbit done. But today, Marianne, I'm going to finish the wooden rabbits that I started last week. And so I just want to grab a little bit of my white paint so that I can finish. I redid these eyes because what I did, if you were here, I know you were watching, I put the nose on, and the nose was just too small to hide the whiskers. So what I did is I made a bigger nose. And so it's just a half bead I painted with the ballet slipper from Waverly. And it looks better with the larger rabbit because I did 3 whiskers instead. And so I made the nose bigger compared to the little teeny tiny nose. You can see the difference. And I thought that the smaller noses would work better on the smaller rabbits. So I'm going to finish the other 2. And we'll see kind of what they look like or if they need anything. So I'm going to set this puppy aside for a minute. Thank you for praying. Oh, hi, Sue. How are you today? It's good to see you guys. I am going to finish rabbits. So last Wednesday, I was in, thank you. You guys are on the East Coast. You guys are getting hit a little bit harder than we have. Sunshine today. It's cold. It's bitter cold. I think it got down into the teens last night. But we are not getting hit. We are the ones that normally get the snow. And for some reason, it's all going to the east of us right now. So we're hurting. None of our mountains have snow, which is really horrible for us because that hits our water table. And we have a reservoir that we depend upon that collects all of the snow melt. And yeah, yes, you're in the East Coast, and is Virginia, I'm assuming Virginia, blah, blah, is getting hit just as hard as everybody else with that weather. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on finishing these puppies today, and we'll see if we can't. They're rabbits, okay? I call them puppies, but they're actually rabbits. And so I'm going to set aside some of the ribbon stuff that I had. These rabbits were Pinterest inspired, and so I'm going to just kind of clean up things for a moment so that I can then get started, because what I need to do is I need to work with the fabric to cover the ears. So I took some wire. Yes, you're getting hit pretty hard too, huh? I took some wire and I bent them into kind of ear shapes, and I did that 6 times. So for the big rabbit as well, but I've got 2 other blocks that I'm gonna make into rabbits. And what I ended up doing was I did kind of like a gradation in colors, and just took my Waverly Nimbus paint, and then I added some black acrylic to it to make it just the different shades. So as I was painting them, and I did that kind of as a prep thing before I went live on Wednesday. And then I had a stencil. I put the stencil away, but I had a stencil that had some flowers on them. So I went ahead and kind of did that detail on the bottom, kind of in a different pattern, and went ahead and stenciled those. And then I painted the eyes in advance, because that was going to help me with the placement of the nose when I start putting the whiskers and the nose on. So let's work on the ears first. So I have just a fabric remnant from, and let me grab the scissors that will actually cut the fabric. And I'll show you the fabric here in just a second. It's actually very pretty. It's kind of got kind of like a tie-dye effect, if you will, but not obvious. Not an obvious tie-dye effect with the blues and grays. But then it's got kind of, I don't know if you guys can see it. Oh yeah, you can see it a little bit. See the kind of the splatter, the silver splatter paint effect? It's in the fabric. So I thought it was very, very cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut kind of out the different sections, because I found it a little bit easier to work with the fabric in pieces when I was trying to do the other ears. So let me cut this ear kind of out, and then what I'm going to do, we got to get the hot glue in operation. So what I'll do, so I've kind of cut the fabric out around the wire. And then what I'll do when the hot glue gets warm, what I'll do is I'm going to go around the wire with the fabric on it and just kind of pump quite a bit of glue onto the wire and get the fabric to stick to the glue, or fabric to stick to the wire. And then I'll put another piece on top to kind of cover. And I'm going to cut those pieces in advance because it goes kind of quickly. And then I'll trim out the ears. So once I get everything glued, then I'll trim out the ears, and I'll take the wire ends. So what I found is that I had to cut the fabric back from like where I had twisted the wire together. So I cut the fabric back so that I could then glue the wire, because I pre-drilled holes at the top of my and I just hot glued them in, but I had to kind of sometimes, depending upon how I had to trim off the wire ends. So we'll see how well they fit, because this was just guessing on how deep the hole needed to be drilled, and so I may have not have gotten them completely drilled, like really deep. So let me see. Okay, I don't think I need my white paint. I'll get that out of my way. Okay, and then we'll get these kind of out of the way. So what have you guys been up to? Have you been crafting? Seeing how not very many people can get out of their houses because of the weather? Have you guys been crafting while you're waiting for the weather to pass? I'm just gonna finish these real quick. All right, hopefully, let's see if the hot glue gun is, okay. So I'm just gonna pump glue down on the wire onto the fabric, and then I'll put my piece of and I'm just, and this hot glue is permanent hot glue, by the way. So once I stick it, it's gonna be stuck for good. It's still working on heating up, but all right. It's not coming out very fast, so sorry. I should have turned my hot glue gun on earlier, but here we go. Okay. So let's get that. So now I'm just going to take the other piece of fabric that I had cut out, and I'm going to kind of lay it over the top. And I'm just kind of, I'm smoothing it out so that everything adheres. All right. We're gonna, okay, so now what I'm gonna do, well, that part of the fabric didn't want to stick because the wire was bent a little bit. Okay, so now I've got my I've got the wire kind of, I got both pieces of fabric glued to the wire, and now I'm just going to kind of trim out the fabric around the ear so that it looks like a bunny ear. What's the temperature? I know you guys are getting dumped on with some snow. What are the temperatures like? Are they like below 0, or are you guys, is it staying in the 30s at the freezing mark? So I'm just clipping around the ears and trying to cut the extra fabric off. I kind of have to feel where the wire is because can't always see it. All right, so I'm gonna cut the fabric. Our scissors don't want to cooperate today. Okay. There we go. Let me, I gotta do a little bit more trimming and then I'll show you because I can see where if I hold it up to the light, I can see where the wire is. All right. So that you end up with a bunny ear. And what we're going to do here, I think I'm going to add a little bit more glue down here because the fabric doesn't want to stick. Might as well give it a little bit more help, right? Okay. Got the glue strings. Whew. Just be careful because that wire gets hot. Okay. So there we got one ear. So let's finish the second ear for the second rabbit. And what we can do is work on finishing the second rabbit. Now I'm just dumping some hot glue. This is permanent hot glue. So it's not going to go anywhere and it's not going to come off. I use permanent hot glue because whatever I craft I want, I don't want to worry about the low temp hot glue, like things falling apart, because with if you use the low temp hot glue, it can do that unless you spend the time to reinforce it with like the B7000 or the E6000. All right, so I've got that glued down, and then I'm going to trim the wire off of, or trim the fabric off of the wire, and then we'll work on finishing one of the rabbits. What's the temperatures like out there, Sue? All right. Okay, I'm just gonna trim around. Hopefully I didn't lose everybody. Okay. I'm just trimming the fabric. I don't want tons of fabric around. I want to kind of hold the shape of the ear. Get a little bit cleaner cut here. All right. Okay, so there's our ear number 2. And I'm going to clean up my fabric mess for a second. Okay, we're going to work on, all right, so here is the rabbit. And I started this on a Wednesday event, and I did 3 of them. So if you're just joining, I'm making rabbits out of, like, this is a 2x4. It's just a extra 2x4 that I have. And I cut the wire just to make the ears, just like what I did. I had pre-drilled the holes at the top. I painted the eyes on. I have a half bead that I painted with the ballet slipper from Waverly. And then I took the wire and I glued it down and then glued the nose right on top. And then glued the ears in. And you can bend the ear, because they're wire, you can bend them however you want. So, and then I ended up adding a bow, like a bow tie kind of thing for, maybe this is like Papa Rabbit. And so I did have a stencil, and I kind of stenciled some kind of flowers like thing just to give it a little bit of extra interest on the rabbit. So I have, maybe we can call this Mrs. Rabbit. So I have the ears here. And so what we're going to do is, let's see if we can dry fit the ears if I need to trim the wires a little bit, then it'll be, I can do that before I glue. Oh, no, I don't think that, okay. So I think what I'll do, those look like they fit okay. So what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and pull them out real quick, and I'm going to put some hot glue into the hole. That way it'll hold the ears in place, and then we'll stick them back in the hole. And then once they dry, we can bend the ears however we want. Okay. There we go. All right. So the next thing is to work on the whiskers. While the ears are drying, we'll work on doing some whiskers of the rabbit. So I just have some wire, rusty wire. I permanently borrowed it from my husband. Okay, so what I'm going to do, it has a lot of rust, is I'm going to kind of try to figure out. So what I did before was I cut them into pieces and I did individuals on each side. I'm wondering if I cut one long piece for both sides of the whiskers. So as an example, so I'll help you understand what I did. So here on these, I cut these each separately in the length, and I curled the ends so you can it gives a little bit of detail to the rabbit. But I'm wondering if, what it ended up doing was it made kind of a big bunch, because I put all 6 of the wires in, and then I really had to gob the hot glue. So I'm thinking maybe I'm going to try leaving the wires connected, and maybe I won't have so much that I have to try to cover up with a nose, because I have a half bead that's a bit smaller for the nose on this one, not as big as the big rabbit. So I'm hoping that I don't have a big wire mess. So I'm going to give it a shot and let's see if that, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but we'll, I'm just going to try to, let's try that length. And I think for her, I'm going to do just 2, and we'll see. Okay. And let's see if I can kind of curl the ends a little bit. I need my needle nose pliers to help me curl them. And if you're just coming in, say hi. Let me know that you're here. What state you're from. Are you getting hit by the snow? I am in Idaho, and we had just had some of the weather system blow out. We were in an inversion. If you don't know what an inversion is, it is just terrible. It's like very cloudy. It holds in the cold air. So it was really cold, but there was no sun. We didn't get to see the sun. You have to probably go up into the mountains to see the sun, but we're not getting any snow. And Idaho, along with Utah, if you have seen Sib from Sib's Crafty Shack, she's in Utah, and they also rely on snow in the mountains, the snowpack in the mountains for water tables. Idaho, as well as Utah. And we have not been getting any snow, so we are going to be hurting for water for the farmers. Let's see. Okay. We're going to... Okay. So now I think I've kind of got them gauged at about center, and I'm going to put a glob of hot glue, and then while the hot glue is still wet, I'm going to stick the nose right on top so that I don't have to add more glue. And we're going to let that sit for just a second. It's like the most boring thing to do is to watch glue dry. Okay. All right. Let's see if it is holding. There you go. That seemed to work okay. I think once I know that the whiskers are, you can kind of then start moving the wire to give it a little bit of character. The ears are dry, so we could bend the ears a little bit. Bend them, give the rabbit a little character. I'll do that later when I know that I'll do that with the whiskers when I know that they're dry. So the next thing I want to do is, this is probably a mama rabbit. So what I want to do is I want to give Mama Rabbit a bow for her hair. So I am going to grab my Bowdabra and let me kind of clear some things out real quick. I grab my twine, and I'm going to give myself just a piece of twine to tie my bow. And then I guess the next thing I'll do now that I have rabbits, I'm going to have to figure out like what to make for carrots. I'm going to have to find some things to make carrots. All right, so I am just gonna, so you can see what I'm doing here. Just kind of using I have this blue, it's, I think I just recently learned from one of the crafters that this is grosgrain, so it has a texture on it, but it's ribbon. And so I don't want to make a big, huge bow for her hair, but I want to make it big enough. Okay, so I think I'll pull that down. We'll trim it. And then I'm going to add the flowered ribbon. Okay, so we'll get this ribbon out of the way. So I have this flowered ribbon that was left over, and I just threw the container away. It's really old, and it was 25 cents per yard, which you cannot find nowadays. So it was just a piece that I think somebody was cleaning out their ribbon box, either my neighbor lady or one of my crafting friends, and said, "Hey, could you use this?" And I'm like, "Yes." And I thought it matched the blue ribbon pretty well. So that's why I chose it. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and, because it is one-sided, I'm just going to kind of have to do a little bit of twisting. to make sure that the flowers actually show. And I think I got a little bit, I got enough. I think I could make another go around. Let's see, because I don't want, and that way it gives her a pretty layered bow. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my twine up. We're going to tie it. Let's see if I can, that grosgrain ribbon is kind of thick. So I'm going to tie it. All right. Gonna set that down out of my way. Is everybody surviving the storm? Getting hit pretty hard in Virginia, Sue? Okay. All right, so now I'm just going to kind of do a little bit of manipulation to the bow so that it looks good before let me get rid of the tails of my twine. And I think probably I'll dig for a button or two to put in the center of the bow. Cut my tails. Okay. All right. It doesn't have wire in it, so I'm operating with ribbon that it's stiff, but it doesn't have wire in it. All right, let's see if that works. All right. Okay, all right, so I got the rabbit here. I'll put it on the side of her head. Because if I put it in the front of her, and like the center, it covers her eyes. So, hi Carla, it's good to see you. How are you? Are you surviving the weather? Are you guys getting hit down there in Louisiana? Or is it just cold? I'm just working on finishing the bunny rabbits that I started from Wednesday's event with Craft Events by Julie. So that's what I'm working on right now. Okay, so let me cut, I need to cut the tails on the bow, and I'll show you guys kind of. That way it's not hanging in her face and you can see her face. All right. You're getting the ice? Ooh. Be safe, please. Okay, so there is rabbit number 2. And I think the wire, so let me try, there we go. Now she looks, there we go. I was able to move the wire once it's dried. Okay, so that is rabbit number 2 to go with rabbit number 1. And then we've got rabbit number 3. So what is is it below freezing? Right, what's the temperature right now, Carla? Thank you. Yeah, so on Monday we had the woodland creatures, and I did owls out of wood. And I was trying to, I had both ideas, the rabbits and the owls, and I couldn't decide. So I did the owls on Monday, and I thought I would do, since it was Crafter's Choice and we were celebrating the birthdays, I decided to do the rabbits. So we're going to work on ears number 2 for this one. The small baby rabbit. So I'm going to cut fabric like I did. Give myself plenty to work with here. And we will work on finishing ears for the second rabbit. It's right at freezing? Oh, man. Well, I just hope everybody stays safe. Okay. I'm going to cut this piece so that when I glue it down, and I just need to grab a second piece to be able to lay over the top of it to cover the ear on both sides. And I'll do that for the second one as well. We'll whip these puppies out. I have also been keeping you in my prayers, sister. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I know I do have a few people watching, but I think not many people are commenting today. So I have this fabric. It is gray, it's kind of tie-dyed. And then, I don't know, it's hard to see on this piece. Maybe you can kind of see here. It's kind of got like a splatter effect of like a silver glittery. And I don't know where I got the fabric. It's been years. So because I just pulled it out of my fabric stuff, and I thought that it was a good color to do for rabbit ears. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going around the wire with my permanent hot glue, and then I'm going to lay the fabric down over the top of that. I'm going to let that adhere. And then what we'll do is I've sandwiched the wire in between. You can see the wire. I'm going to do that with the second ear as well. You just have to be careful because the hot glue, because this is high temp hot glue, it heats up that wire. Okay. So I'm just sandwiching the wire in between the fabric. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for putting me into some groups. I appreciate that. I just wanted to have an opportunity to come on. I was going to try to go live yesterday. I just didn't have the energy. We went out yesterday because my husband wants to upgrade our RV. And so we spent the day looking at RVs. And a couple of our friends went with us because they're interested in buying an RV. And so, because we already own one, they wanted to kind of have a little bit of help, direction, and guidance because my husband is really smart about that stuff. And so we spent the day going to the different RV dealers, looking at a variety of RVs. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to come around where I can tell the hot glue has sealed the fabric, and I am just trimming the dog. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but the dog is like snoring something fierce. She's on the floor over here. And she is snoring loud. All right. So I am going to, okay. We ended up with an ear. Let me do the same thing with the other one. And I'm keeping the wire out so that I have something to stick in because I pre-drilled holes. So I have something to stick in to the holes, and that's how I can fix the ears to the body. All right, so I'm just trimming out the second ear. I was making, you can hear her. Wow, that's pretty bad when my noise canceling can't block out the dog snoring. That's pretty funny. She's a good dog, though. She is not happy unless she is with me most of the time. She is her name is Brandy, and she is a Great Pyrenees, so she is a big dog. Okay, so there we go. We got our ears. And they don't have to match because, you know, God did not make this universe perfect. Perfection is unattainable. So, all right. Now, I may need my little, because I need to straighten out the twist and kind of push them together a little bit so that they're a little bit closer. Okay. All right. So now, this one is kind of going this way. So maybe I'm dry fitting right now. Okay. There we go. So they fit in. I don't have to trim. The other, the big one, the big bunny, I had to trim the wires because the holes weren't deep enough. Okay, so I'm just going to put hot glue in the holes, and then that will hold Okay. And stick the wires in the holes, and then okay. So now I'm gonna kind of hold them there for just a second so that they can. Yes. Yes. So she was actually my father-in-law's dog. He passed away a couple years ago when my husband was there visiting, helping him do some repairs around the house. He ended up passing away by a heart attack. And so he had asked if something were to ever happen to him, that we would take her, and my husband had promised that we would. And so she came home with us after the funeral, and she has all of the tendencies. We have chickens in the backyard, and she wants to herd the chickens, but the chickens don't want to be herded. So, it's quite humorous. And she has a routine. We have a routine of going out in the mornings and putting the chickens, letting them out, feeding them, and doing everything. And she lets me know when it's time to go out and take care of the chickens. So it's quite funny. And then at night, when it's time, the chickens will automatically coop up by themselves, but she doesn't know that. She thinks she needs to kind of herd the chickens into the coop. And it's pretty funny to watch, because the chickens go the opposite direction that she is trying to herd them. So it's funny. She's got a good personality. And yes, she is very loyal. She likes going on road trips. She likes going on errands. So I'm just taking the wire. So I'm going to do the same thing I did with the other rabbit. I'm going to leave the wire connected. That seemed to work better, as I didn't have as much hot glue globbed in one spot. Now I'm just kind of giving curls to the whiskers, just to give them a little of character. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, so I took half beads and I painted them with the ballet slipper. Hi, Kathy. Welcome in. I look nice and warm. Thank you. You're warm too? Good. Yeah. Carla, so how far are you guys apart? Kathy and Carla, how far of a distance? Because I know you're both in that area of Louisiana. Oh, you're gonna go on at 5 or 6? Hold on. Okay. I can't see. Sometimes when it's a long comment, I can't read it all. Oh, so it's to Carla. Okay. So is there an event today? Adventures in Crafting? So I'm going to glue the wires down, and then I'm going to stick the half bead that I painted with the ballet slipper just right on top. And then that way, once it dries, we can then move the wires. Okay, I just want to hold it down for just a minute. So you guys are about 3.5 hours away from each other? Gotcha. Okay. that's not too bad. I mean, I guess if you guys wanted to do a mini get together, because Lisa Mary's down there too. I know she's very sick, so we've been praying for her health. But at least the three of you guys could get together, huh? Okay. All right, so this is where we're at right now. Okay, so I think the ears are dry. So once the ears are dry, you can take the wire and you can bend the ears. We can bend one ear. And I don't know. Sometimes ears have like pink on the inside. I don't know if I'll put some pink paint or not. I guess depends, but I'm going to let the nose dry. Adventures in Crafting. You have Crafter's Choice today? I love that I can do, yeah. I like Crafter's Choice too, to be honest. So you guys had a meetup at one point with Kathy, you, and Lisa Mary on a weekend. Oh, very cool. Very cool. Okay, so that's where we're at on this one. I'm going to make a bow, a blue bow, because I'm out of that the flowery stuff, but I'll do a blue bow real quick. And then we will wrap her up. Okay, I'm just going to get a piece of twine so that I can tie my bow. And then I've got to come up with a creative way to do some carrots or something, huh? Because I'm kind of ahead of myself on the Easter thing. Okay, so I am just going to make I'm going to have to make a smaller bow than what I did before. And because I don't have much room at the neck, this one's probably going to end up having to be a girl. We'll put the ribbon in their hair. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you coming in and watching me for a few minutes. I know it's hard. You got to split your attention, especially when you're in an event. They want you to join and watch all of the crafters. Okay, so I am doing just a little 3-tier bow. And I'm going to cut the tails short. This is just a boatload of like grosgrain ribbon, so it has that texture. It doesn't have wire in it or anything, but it's thick enough and it's stiff enough that a lot of times I can use it, and I really like the color. And I have a girlfriend that we craft with on like once a month, and she has like a couple different friends that go to auctions, and they often will pick up a bunch of, like, if it's a box of crafting stuff from an auction, then they give it to her. And so she ends up with all kinds of goodness, crafting goodness. Okay, I want to go this way. So she was cleaning things out, and she said, hey, can you use this? Because she right now is concentrating on making wreaths. And she can't use the non-wired ribbon. Okay, all right, let me get the bow dabber out of the way. Okay. All right, cut the tails off here. I do a little bit of, and I think what I'll do is I'll dig out maybe a button or something to put. Okay. We'll put her on the other, put her bow on the other side. Okay. So I wanted to go live yesterday, but I just didn't have it in me. I was telling Sue and Marianne that my husband wanted to upgrade the RV, so we spent 3/4 of the day looking at RVs. I think we've found one. So we have a Class A gas rig right now. I don't know if that means anything to anybody, but it is one that it's like all in one, and it's just a drive. You drive it down the road, and then you have to tow a vehicle or something. So it's not a camper. It is actually a motor home. There we go. Got the bow on, and now I think the whiskers are dry. Let's bend the whiskers a little bit to give it a little bit of character. There is rabbit number 2. We can even droop the ear a little bit. And let me get the others so you guys can see them all together. Okay. So, Papa Rabbit, Mama Rabbit, Baby Rabbit. There you go. There we go. Now you can maybe see them. So, and those just intended to be just shelf stairs. And you weren't in, Carla, when I had to have this is Pinterest inspired. This is not my own original idea. I did see somebody, they never give you, like, when they have pictures posted on Pinterest, they never tell you who the artist is. But this is inspired by something somebody else had done. But had to kind of figure some things out. You know, how was I going to attach the ears? So I drilled holes, and it seemed to work by putting the wire in. So you're just looking, you look at a picture, you get an idea, and then you just kind of go with it. So that's what we were doing today. And I know it was kind of short and sweet, but I did want to have an opportunity to come on and finish these so that I could post a picture in Craft Events by Julie, because this is where I started, the event that I started these bunny rabbits in. Thank you. I appreciate that. So yes, I'm not in, I don't think I'm in an event until February, because I have some pretty crazy schedules happening this week. So I'll probably, if I am able to go live, it'll be kind of a random thing, but I'll post. And I have exclamation Telegram if you want to sign up for the Telegram. If you're on your phone, it's a little bit harder. You can get on a device. I also have it posted on my webpage somewhere, on my Facebook page, the Telegram screens. I'm the brains behind figuring out how to make it. That's true. That's true. But I just thought they were so stinking cute, I couldn't not do it. And now that I have my own saw and my own drill, and my husband, my lovely, lovely husband, helped me acquire my Ryobi sander. So now I am like all set to be able to do things with wood that I wouldn't have normally. I had always in the past had to rely on him to cut the wood for me, and because it was all his tools, and he uses them for a handyman business. So I always was trying to work around his schedule. Now I have my own saw. I have a scroll saw, so I can cut out all of that. You don't know anything about Telegram? Okay, well, if you want to learn, I'm happy to help. Thank you. Thank you, Kathy. If it's something that you want to learn, and then I can help you. Do you have your chat bots with your exclamations set up? I'm a Mrs. Do It Myself. Yeah, my mom raised me very independent, and and impatient. Independent, but yet impatient, because I don't like waiting on other people. Thank you, Kathy. You're sweet. I appreciate it. I love you too. Both of you are wonderful. I really love being in this crafting community. It's been amazing. And both of you, I don't know, Kathy, if your chatbots, you do have chatbots set up. Okay. I can help you with the Telegram part of it if you want. You're in your phone, you can go to your app store, and it's free. You can download Telegram and have that application on your phone if you want it, and then I can help you. You too, Kathy, you want to learn Telegram? You had it a few years ago, and when you lost your page, you lost the Telegram too. You didn't remember how to set it back up. Okay. Do you have the chatbots set up for you too, Kathy? Because Carla says she has her chatbot set up. Do you have your chatbot set up? Because I can help you with that. I have Michelle with Pretty Pieces by Michelle had really nice written up instructions on how to set up, and it's very plain and easy to understand. So I can even send those to you if you don't have your chat bot set up. But so Telegram, the first thing you want to do is just go onto your cell phone and into your app store and download the Telegram. You have the chat bot set up too. Okay, perfect. So that's the first task, is number 1, go into your phone, app store, and download Telegram. It will install on your phone. And then what we can do is we can get on like a call or something, or I can call each of you and step you through individually how to set up your Telegram. I had to kind of learn to figure it out. Okay, so Carla and Kathy, I think I have my messenger turned on, that you can message me to my page. I don't have, all right. So yeah, so send me your telephone numbers, and then what I'll do is I'll send you a text message with my phone number. And then each of you, I'll get on the phone and talk you through how to set it up, so that you can set it up with your page name. And then what you'll do is you'll get the link, and you can save it on your page. You can create the Telegram chat bot with it, with the link, to start getting people to join. I only have a couple, 2 or 3 followers on my Telegram right now, but it's because Telegram, it's more reliable than Facebook's notifications. So Kathy, if you send me your phone number, I'll text you back with my information. And then when you're ready, either one of you are ready, then let me know, and I'll sit down and we'll go through setting it up for you. Okay? That way, you guys will have the ability to have other people join, and that way they're guaranteed to get the notifications when you go live instead of just trusting that Facebook is going to do the notifications. Yeah, I'm happy to do that. So happy to help you guys. Hey, you guys have poured into me on all kinds of things. So here, this is just a small piece for me to be able to give back to you guys. So I thank you. But so send me the message and we'll work on it. Now, today, just to let you know, I have church this afternoon because my church, we rent a space right now because we're in the middle of building a building and it's under construction. So we have to have church in the afternoons. So I wouldn't be available later today, but if you get it downloaded and then we can text back to find a time that would work for you guys. Okay? So I'll look for your phone numbers in my messenger. And you'll probably have to come, you can't like business page, but you'll have to come in on your you'll come on your personal page and then you can message me your phone number and then that way I'll put it in my phone and we'll text back and forth. Great. Thank you. I appreciate that. But we will get you set up this week. Okay. So that you guys can start leaning on Telegram to help you get your following onto Telegram for the notifications. All right. Well, thank you guys. Yeah. Yes. Sometime this week we'll get together and we'll get you guys all squared away. Both of you. Okay. You guys, I know Carla, I know your prayers. I don't know if you want me to pray out loud for it, but I can send you some blessings. Kathy, do you have any prayer requests? I've got Lisa Mary on the list already. There's a couple others that I think I'm going to pray for out loud, but do you guys have any prayer requests before I'll pray and close this out? I don't know if there's anybody else that's on here that hasn't let me know they're watching. If you have prayer requests, I'm happy to pray for you too. I know there's a little bit of a lag, so I was giving it a moment to... If you have a prayer request, go ahead and let me know. And we'll close out. Just gonna... And this is another trick I learned from you guys, using those Amazon bags as things to cover up your desk so you don't get paint all over your desk. And look at how easy that cleanup was. Yes. Yep. Is it okay to pray that out loud on a live, or you want me to keep that undercover? And Kathy, do you have any prayer requests, sister? And anybody else that's in watching? Do you have any prayer requests? Come in and let me know. I'm happy to pray for you. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I had permission before I prayed anything out loud. Thank you for letting me know. I don't want to not have your trust. That's very important to me. Okay. Alrighty. If prayer requests come in after I'm done praying, I'm happy to continue. I keep a list and I keep praying for everybody. And we still have baby Weston to pray for as well. So I'm going to go ahead and pray. So if you want to bow your heads with me. Dear Lord, we just thank you for the opportunity to come together. We give you the glory and the honor for allowing us to have community. Having crafting community is just the most important thing in the world to me, Lord, and that support that you have bestowed upon everyone. It's just amazing in this crafting community, and I just appreciate that about everyone, Lord, and I just want to thank you for putting that in that community. And I give you the glory for this community, Lord. And I want to thank you for just the time that people are giving to be able to spend with me, especially on a Sunday late morning, Lord. And after they have been worshiping you, they decided to tune in with me, Lord. And I just want to thank you for that. Lord, I just come to you with a little bit of intercessory prayer and asking for some healing. Today, we are still asking for baby Weston's creatine numbers to come up, and that you make him a modern miracle, Lord, and that you are able to puzzle the doctors as to why his body is healing itself, because we know that you are the greater power and that you have the ability to restore that little baby's kidneys so that he can be happy, healthy, and go home with his mom and dad, Lord. And we just ask that you lay your healing hands on Lisa Mary, as I think last update I knew she was still in the hospital, Lord. And we just ask that you restore her body back to the working normal fashion that you made us in the image of you, and that there's no infection, all of the infection and any of the medical problems that she has been suffering with, Lord, that you restore her body back to normal. And Lord, we just ask that you keep Janet in mind, because she has been suffering with some sinus problems, and we just ask that you relieve the headaches and the sinus pain that she is having. And with that, Lord, I just ask that you step deeper into Carla's family, Lord. There is some restoration that needs to take place within those relationships, Lord, and we just ask that you bless each one of them, and that you open the eyes of the family members that need to be touched by you, and make them aware that it's you, Lord, that is doing that restoration. Open their hearts so that they can have that family put back together and have restoration, just because that's what you want. That's what you call for and you ask for, Lord. And we just ask that if there's anyone else out there that needs healing prayers, that you are able to touch them and make it be known that it is you that is doing the healing, Lord, that you open and make it obvious for them to receive that in their hearts, Lord. And we just ask that you bless each and every one who had tuned in here today, that they will know you, and if they don't know you, that they will come to know you. In the name of Jesus Christ, we pray. Amen. Thank you guys so much. Kathy, your 2 sons too? Okay, I can do that. The delay, I'm apologizing, but I will pray. I will continue to pray for your family as well. I'm happy to keep them in my prayers. I pray a couple times a day. Plus, I'm constantly in communication and in relationship with Jesus. So, because he calls us to be in relationship with him, and he wants us to know him greater. You guys, I'm preaching to the choir. You guys know that. So I don't need to tell you that. But I thank you guys so much. And here's a last look at our bunny rabbits. So, Mr. and Mrs. Bunny and Baby Bunny, just kind of little holiday shelf sitters. Yeah, spring. You could even have them out for spring. I'll have to be creative and figure out what to do and how to make some carrots. So maybe I can put some carrots with my bunnies. We'll see. But anyway, I thank you guys. I thank you guys so much for coming in and spending a few minutes with me. And I'm going to take a picture of my bunnies and I'll post them on the Craft Events by Julie page. And I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming in and spending a little bit of time with me. And you guys have a fabulous, fabulous Sunday. Thank you, Carla. Thank you, Kathy. And thank you, whoever else is on that's not letting me know that you're here. I really appreciate you guys joining and spending a little bit of time with me. God bless.